Hello friends, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm so excited about this video today. We're gonna plant some bulbs that we used last year, and then we have some fresh ones to plant also, and I'm gonna plant them in these beautiful terracotta pots with you because last year I did that and I really had a good time with these bulbs. It's a lot of work in my opinion because as you see I had to wait until the foliage died back in order to save the bulbs. I'm in zone 6B 7A, so these are perennials for me. They're not annuals. I'm not gonna throw my bulbs away because they come back. It's just that when you put them in the containers and you need your containers to put your summer annuals in, you just have to take the bulbs out and store them inside and let it dry off. So that's what I did with these, and we're gonna do the same thing again this year. And also I have some new ones here. These are from Aldi grocery store. I think they were $5 for 25 tulips in there. And then we have some tulips from last year, and my two neighbors gifted me some Muscari hyacinth. I love these, friends, along with some other ones here. And look at these mini daffodils. Yes, she gave me these really mini daffodils. So we're gonna plant all these guys in the pot today. And over here, friends, these are grape hyacinth Muscari. Just love them. I planted those last spring in these 3 terracotta pots, friends. They probably lasted, I don't know, maybe 2 months, I would say. They were just blooming non-stop. I've never seen a spring bulb that bloomed that long. And they were from Aldi grocery store. They were called grape hyacinth Muscari, and I just love them. So we're gonna duplicate the same thing as we did last year in here. And also it's nice to plant bulbs in containers, and I know a lot of you probably wondering, okay, you plant them in a container and then what next? So let's get these bulbs in here, and I'm going to share with you some useful tips what you can do with your bulbs after you plant them in containers, right? So let me figure out what is going to go in what and get this done, then we'll get more, and then we'll get deeper in the video. All right, friends, and let me take you over here to my wheelbarrow. I've been reusing my dirt, so I emptied all these that had the summer plants in there, so that way I don't have to buy soil all over again. And here it is. Yes, I used the wheelbarrow and I collected them, so I'm just gonna fill them back up with the same soil. And with tulips, friends, they don't need that much nutrients. There's enough nutrients in the bulb. I've never used tulip fertilizer or anything like that. I even have something of that nature. So just a tip for you, don't be dumping your soil from your summer plants. If you're gonna plant spring bulbs, just save it, reuse the soil for your containers, right? All right, friends, I have my soil prepared. So first let's do the tulips, and as I always say with your bulbs, you want to bury them 3 times the size of the bulb. So this is 4 inches in depth, so we're gonna probably do 4 to 6 inches, but definitely in the ground you want to go at least 3 times the size, so that way the squirrels cannot get the bulbs, and when the bulbs start to emerge they will not be floppy, if that makes sense. So if ever you see you planted bulbs and they're kind of floppy looking, that means you didn't plant them deep enough. My friend said to me, why is it my bulbs always flopping? I said that's why. Anyway, so these ones are the hybrid. These are perfect for cut flowers, and they will get 20 inches tall. Yeah, so if you're looking for tulips that you can use as cut flowers, always make sure you pick up the Darwin hybrid series. I love those ones, really good. I love this color combination too. Always picking this up from Aldi grocery store. Anyways, I think I'm probably gonna do maybe 5 or so tulips in the pot. So we have these pots already ready, and as you can see, I didn't cover the pot to the top because we need to add the soil after. So let's get these guys in and see what it looks like. So friends, whenever you're planting your bulbs, always make sure the pointy side up and the flat side down. If you can't tell the difference, guess what? Put it on the side just like that. But this one is very clear. You can see the difference between the pointy and the bottom side. So I'm just gonna probably do, I would say maybe 5 in here. And as always, our numbers are more pleasing to the eyes than even numbers. So let's see what this looks like in here. Make some space here. And I think they probably should be 4 inches apart, or 2 to 4 inches apart, but in the container that's okay. You don't want the container to look sparse, you want the container to look full. So we're gonna put 5 in here. Yep, that looks like 5. All right, and then we're gonna continue the same thing over here too. Pointy side up, flat side down. just like this. Let me know if you guys are done planting your bulbs. I'm in zone 6B, 7A, so for me, I have until all the way into November. And if you're in the warmer zones, let me digress for a second. If you're in the warmer zones, you should at least have your bulbs, I would say pre-chill for like at least 12 weeks in the fridge. Yes, you just can't put your bulbs in the ground like how I'm doing, because I have the colder weather. I'm in Pennsylvania, so we have the colder weather. But you guys in zones 8 and up, you definitely need to pre-chill your bulbs before you put them in the ground. So if you're thinking of trying to plant bulbs in your garden or in containers, make sure they're in the fridge for at least 12 weeks. Okay, they need a cold air, and you don't have the cold air as the colder zones, right? So just a tip there for you. So yes, you can plant bulbs if you're in those warmer states, but you may have to treat them as annuals. Probably discard them after. For me, they're perennials. And as I always say, just do some experiment in your garden, right? Do some research. Google. I always say Google is my friend. If you don't know how about bulbs, do some research. And there's a lot of useful information out there too. So give it a try if you're in the warmer zones and see what happens. Once again, it has to be in there for 12 weeks. So if you're in my zone, you still have time. You can plant your bulbs. Zone 6, zone 7, you can still put these guys in the ground or in containers. Just do it before your first frost comes, because when the frost comes, forget about trying to plant anything in the garden unless you have a warm day where the ground will allow you to dig a hole, right? It's so hard to dig holes when the ground is frozen. All right, so this was actually 25 in here. Perfect, friends. 25 to be exact. I give every container 5 bulbs, so that's perfect. And then I have some extra soil here. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to pour the soil over all of them. All right, friends, so I covered all of them to the very top because we're gonna water these in, right? So you know when you do the watering, the soil gets less, so I fill them to the very top. Well, not to the very top, I just left some space around the rim here, and I just pressed on it just to make it compact, take out any air bubbles in there. And here's the other one over here. And friends, what I love about these containers is that if I could find a nursery container that fits into them, oh my goodness, I prefer that than planting directly in the container. So like here we are, like that. See that? So this is amazing. So when spring comes and these already bloomed, I don't have to wait for them to die back in the container. I just take this out and then put another nursery container in here. And I really love that about that. But these ones, the shape is so different that it's hard to find a container that fits perfectly over here as these ones are in here. So our tulips are done, friends. I'm so excited. So let's do the daffodils, and the same concept with the daffodils as we just did with the tulips, and then we're gonna do those tiny muscari high grape hyacinth after. Alrighty, friends, here we are with the daffodils, pointy side up, this side down, the flat side down with the roots. And don't mind these stuff, these will just decompose in here. So I'm gonna go and put the soil on top and it should be good. I think I did 5 in that one over there, and I think I probably did 7 in here. So just gonna cover this up and then we're good to go. And then after that, we're gonna move on to these muscari. I'm so excited about these. I just love these in containers. Alrighty, friends, so the daffodils are done, the tulips are done, and I'm telling you, I am so excited, friends, because when you have a lot to do, right, and you just accomplish one off the list, for me, it makes me happy. I know. Anyway, so let's put these guys in here. I'm telling you, I love these ones. They lasted so long in here. So these 3 pots, I normally put it on my outdoor coffee table to sit there. You always want, if you have outdoor furniture, make sure you treat it like if it's your indoor design, so to speak. You want like something there on it. Just don't leave your outdoor coffee table with nothing on there. So I put these 3 pots in here, and then in summer I had salvia in here. So I treat it like how I would decorate the interior of my home. All right, so I think I have 5 in there. That's enough. And just gonna do the same thing over here. Friends, I love spring. I just love when everything is waking up. I love when the bulbs are coming out. I love when the birds are chirping, and I like this surprise. Look at this, friends. See that? Already new growth right there. And I love this surprise element with these bulbs, because you know, after a couple of months you plant these in fall and then spring arrives, you somewhat do not remember what you planted, right? So I love the element of surprise in spring. So we're gonna continue these. And if you have any tip looking like these with the green shoot coming out, be careful not to break it off, because if you break it off, I don't think you'll get any bulb from it, because that's the new growth for the plant, right? So be careful not to break it off. And I have some in here. I have more containers I can use, so I think we're gonna put all of this guy here in here. All right, friends, and here we have up next, we have these mini daffodils from my neighbor friend up the road. Look how tiny they are. I'm like, I've never seen daffodils this tiny, because the ones I have in the garden, they're huge, right? So I don't even know how big these will get. I don't know, maybe 6 inches, 12 inches? I have no clue. But we're gonna tuck them in this beautiful large terracotta bowl and see what happens, right? Oh my goodness, I can't wait for spring to see all this excitement. I think that's enough, friends. I really did a lot in there. Let's get one more in there. Still have more here to go. Oh Lord, just made a mess there. That's okay. It's fall. It's okay, making a mess on the grass now, all right? The grass, look at the grass. It looks dead. It's dying back, doing what it needs to do. And yes, I just take my hands and just gently pattern these. All right, friends, I still have, oh my goodness, I still have a lot to go. Let's see, where am I gonna put these? Alrighty, let me go around and find more pots and see where I'm gonna put these guys. And I have 2 large containers in the front. I think I might do like a bulb lasagna, because I still have daffodils here. I have little tulips and I have these small ones. Oh my goodness, there's more tulips here too. Didn't even notice those. So I might just do a bulb lasagna, but let's see. So I found these containers. I save these, friends. I get these at Lowe's. Like, they're really good containers to keep, and I love the shape. So I think these will fit really nice on my front patio. I could just put them there and it will just give some beautiful color in the spring. So I might just probably use 3. I have another one, but the size is different, so they're already filled. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put these guys in here. I just want to be done. I just want to be done with these bulbs. Put them in here and then cover them up. So I think this will really look pretty. As I said to you before, I think this is why I don't like them in the garden, because they have this kind of messy look after the blooms become spent bloom. They're just messy looking. I don't know, probably just me, and I have my own weird things about me. Anyway, so we're gonna go and we're just gonna put these guys in here, and it's just gonna create a beautiful show. And look at these little small pups here. These are like I call them pups, like the babies. You do get blooms from them, but it takes a while, maybe a couple of years, 3 years or so. But I think it probably only works if they are in the ground. I don't know, that's what I think. But if I take them off, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt the plant, because this is the mommy plant. All right, so and then look at these, friends. Just look at that new growth on them already. Do you see that? They're just ready for spring. So I'm just gonna put them all throughout all these 3 containers, and then I think that's it. I think we'll be done. I will still have some left over, but as I said, I'll put those in the plant as I have the fall decorations in. I have mums in there. I have the heuchera, the creeping Jenny in there. So let's get these guys in here. All right, friends, I'm done. I'm so excited. I still have more bulbs remaining, so what I can do is just keep them in the garage and I can plant them in February, or I can plant them another day. It's getting dark so early, friends, and it's getting colder. Because what you can do, if you have bulbs and say you didn't get a chance to plant them, and I'm talking about those of us in the colder zones, and you leave them in an unheated garage, you can plant them out in February. I've done this the last 2 years, and my bulbs, they bloomed, no problem whatsoever. But the key, friends, is to making sure you store them in an unheated garage where they get the cold air. The cold air is what activate the growth and all the good stuff. Just a tip there for you. Don't throw away your bulbs. Plant them out in February if you can. Plant them now, but keep them in an unheated cold garage where it's cold. Okay, anyways, so let's continue this. So everything is looking so good here. So yeah, so when I do my bulbs in pots, I do water them. The very first time, friends, let me digress, my hose broke. Okay, you should see it, it broke. So I'm just hand watering with this bucket. So I'll be going back maybe 10 times to get water in all of these containers, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not buying a hose now. It's fall, it's going for winter. There's nothing I need to water outside. I'm not buying a hose. If I plant something, I just hand water it. And these bulbs, as I said, but come spring, I'm gonna be investing in a good hose, okay, not those ones you have to drag behind you throughout the garden. And probably do some research and see if I get a really good one that can extend, retract, all the good stuff, with not having that bulky tube behind you breaking your plants. You know what I'm talking about, right? Anyways, so let's continue this. So what I'm gonna do here is just water all these. I'll probably just do 1 bucket of water per container. Yeah, so I have how many steps to go to the side of the house to get the water. That's okay. And question is, what am I going to do with these after? Okay, so here's some tips for you. I do not recommend leaving your bulbs like this outside. The snow, the water, they will rot your bulb out, okay? Very important. If you get snow, don't leave your bulbs like this exposed outside. You must cover them. You can cover them, or you can put them underneath a porch. If you have a porch where you can put them, at the same time you have to protect them, not just from the snow or the rain, protect them from the rodents. You know how the rodents get around this time, the squirrels, other rodents out there. You have to protect them. So for example, if I leave this out here, I'm telling you, by tomorrow morning, guess what, my bulbs, they're gonna be out. The squirrels are gonna make a mess of them. Yes, so what I recommend, if you don't have an unheated garage, I have an unheated garage, they're gonna go in there. The car is not gonna go in there. These are gonna go in there. They're gonna go in the unheated garage, and I'm just gonna water them 1 time. That's all I do. Water them now, leave them, let water run out. So by the end of tonight, I'll put them in the garage. So I'm gonna water them, go around the garden, continue what I'm doing, because I don't want to take the wetness inside the garage. However, I do have those plastic you get from those to protect your trunk, and I have tops I could put down in the garage, so if there's any liquid to run out, it will just run out in the plastic, right? It's a garage, who cares? It's not like it's in my house. Anyway, so let's water these in, and if you have an unheated garage, store them in there, and you don't even have to water them ever again. I would say when I did these last year, I would say in maybe February, I gave them a drink of water, not a bucket, but just a little drink of water. You just need to water them once, so that way the wetness would wake up the bulbs with the cold air. Just that's it. Don't go be watering these plants throughout the winter. 1 watering right now, deep watering. As I said, 1 bucket per pot I'm gonna do right now. And then in February, you just give them a little water, just a little water, friends. They don't need to be watered at all, okay? Very important. So if once again, if you don't have an unheated garage where you can put these, you could put them to the side of your house, maybe something like here, but protect them from the rodents, okay? And depends on if you have a covering to cover them from the snow. They have to be protected from the wetness and also the rodents. So guess what I have here? All these bargain center, friends, they have these top things, and I can't believe the price. They have 4 by 6 feet for $1.99. These ones are the 6 by 8 feet for $2.99. okay, just look at that. You could use these to cover your containers, and that will protect them from the rodents along with the wetness of the winter season. But look at this. I went to other garden centers and I'm telling you, they're so expensive, these top. So I picked up these just in case if I needed them, but I'm gonna take my pots in the garage, so I might just spread this out on the garage floor so that way it just collect any drippings these pots might have. As I said, I'm gonna leave them out here. I'm gonna be out here for another 4 hours, so they should be drained out by then, right? But just in case. Or for example, let me go here. So this is the back of the house. If you have anything looking like this steps here, you can just put the pots underneath here and that will help with the winter, but once again protect them from the rodents. Or if you have a garage or if you have a shed, put them in your shed. Do not leave your pots like this outside in the elements. Your bulbs will rot out and the rodents will get to your bulbs. I can't stress that enough. And don't put them anywhere in your house where it's heated. They need the cold air. That's all I do with my bulbs, and they come back. That's all I do with my bulbs. And come February, March, I take them outside. I take them out around in March time outside, and they do what they need to do. By then the temperatures are getting better, it's getting warmer, spring is here in March. That's what I do. February, March, you could take them outside. But I just want to give you something I noticed last year when I did this. Not all of them, but just some of them, they had this white mildew on top, right? And I think it's because they're in the garage and there's no air circulating in the garage, and that's totally fine. It doesn't harm the bulb, it doesn't damage the bulb. And what I did with that, friends, I just took some baking soda, mixed in some water, take a spray bottle, and I just sprayed it on top, and guess what, it just disappeared. But you will see come February, late January, February, you will see tulips shooting up in the pots in the garage. But wait until the temperature when spring getting closer, and then you can take them outside and you should be perfectly fine. The squirrels won't even go after them. But anyway, so that's what I do with my bulbs. So I'm gonna water them in, let it dry out. Let me know if you have any other tips you want to share with me, what you do with your bulbs in the pot, or if you thought this video was very useful. Don't forget to give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, if you would consider subscribing. And if you already subscribed, thank you as always. But I just wanted to show you what I do with my bulbs in pots, and I can't wait to show this to you in spring, friends. Yes, I just can't wait to see the beautiful colors looking at us. So we planted tulips, daffodils, mini daffodils, hyacinth, muscari grape, and this other grape hyacinth we planted too. I'm just so excited about this. Yes. All right, friends, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.